my fellow dorks? It is the Turtle Dork back with a new movie review for you today. So this is Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. This is the sequel to Jurassic World, the second film in this new, I guess, rebooted or reimagining or whatever you want to call it, but it's the fifth overall Jurassic Park film. Now I gotta say, like, with Jurassic World, that was a movie that I enjoyed it, but ultimately it's not a movie that really stands out to me. It's kind of unremarkable. I haven't even really gone to revisit that film probably since the theater, even though I do own it on Blu-ray. So when this film came out, when Fallen Kingdom came out, I didn't really have a lot of anticipation for this film. To be honest, I really had no anticipation for this film. Just nothing about the marketing or any of the trailers or anything really kind of got me excited to see this film. But I tried to go in with, well, I actually went in with lowered expectation, measured expectations. But so I was hoping to really come out of this film like really, you know, at least being pleasantly surprised. There are some good things and some bad things, some questionable things about this film. I'm not going to get too much into spoilers. I'm actually going to save that for our main podcast, which will also be up on the channel in a couple of days. And that'll be time-stamped if you want to go ahead to the review, and you can listen to myself and my other dorks actually give a more spoiler-filled review as we get a little more in-depth into this film. But just to kind of give you my overall impressions of the film, I thought Fallen Kingdom was mediocre at best. Let me start with some of the things that I really did enjoy about the film. I thought there was some interesting things in the first half of the film, especially when we're talking about dealing with the dinosaurs being an endangered species and raising those questions as, okay, is this something, do we need to save these dinosaurs? You know, even though they were man-made, you know, it's still a responsibility to us to preserve these animals and not just let them die because they're stuck on the island on Isla Nublar, where it's an active volcano now. The park has been shut down for I think 3 years. I think the time is still consistent with when the last film came out, which was 3 years ago. So it's been a few years, and now the volcano on that island is active, and so they're looking to do a rescue mission and send them to a new kind of a new safe haven that they've created for them. All in all, this doesn't turn out to be the case, and this is one thing that kind of bothered me about, and this is one thing about doing trailer reactions and really digging and liking to watch trailers, is that I believe it was the second trailer for this film really gave a lot of this film away. It gave a lot of the, I guess, a lot of the reveals and the motivations of the villains, and it just gave a lot of the plot away for this film. So going into this film, there really wasn't nothing to kind of, it wasn't nothing exciting about the story. Just kind of watching it unfold, and it just felt really predictable. But I do like that aspect of those questions that they do ask, because that is an interesting idea, and I like that they're really trying to get more away from a lot of kind of following the same narrative plot devices that we've seen in the original Jurassic Park. And you know, they're stuck on they're on the park, the dinosaurs get loosed, and everything runs amok. And I just felt like Jurassic World was just kind of retreading a lot of that. Also, something that I really kind of dug in the third act of this film was I liked what J.A. Bayona was doing. Kind of the third act of this film really kind of feels more like a horror monster house movie, and I kind of like how he brings a lot of his style and his aesthetic to this film, using a lot of those horror elements. Now, of course, J.A. Bayona directed films like A Monster Calls, The Impossible, and he also did The Orphanage. So he's really familiar with those type of techniques, and I think he really is kind of in his playhouse, so to speak, when you're in that mansion. And it just really has this nice horror vibe to it, which I thought was kind of cool. But after that, man, I mean, this film just feels like it's just kind of just, I don't know, it just feels flat. It feels uninteresting. The characters really have nothing to do. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, although they are very charismatic on screen, they're basically the same characters. We don't see no growth, no arc, nothing with them. These films, these most recent Jurassic films, it just feels like they've kind of gotten away from what the first Jurassic Park really was, bringing that sense of adventure, that sense of fun, that Spielberg was so brilliantly at bringing to the screen. These films just feel void of that. And I guess going to another character, Justice Smith, who I really liked. He was in the Netflix show The Get Down. And he's a really, really good actor if you've seen that series. I saw season 1 of that. And he definitely gives a really good performance that I think puts a lot of people on notice. But here, he's used in such a comical way that I think just does disservice not only to him, but to the film overall. There's no reason for him to be there except to just be scared of everything. To be and to yell and scream, and for some reason for us as an audience to think that it's funny, and it's not funny. It's really kind of grating, and I found it actually kind of annoying. But then ultimately, and we'll probably get into this a little bit more in our full spoiler review, is the ending, the choice that is made at the ending, which you feel like it's only there to set up a third film, and. I really want to get into it a lot more here, but when you get to the final moments of this film and you see that there's a choice that has to be made, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, are they really about to do this? Like, it goes back to what I was saying about what I liked about it in the first half and the questions that it asked about saving these animals. But you're going to save these animals at the risk of something greater. And there's a lot to really kind of just delve into deeper with that. Of course, if you've seen the film, you understand what I'm talking about with that ending. I didn't necessarily like how this film ended. Of course, yeah, it does set up something that's going to be bigger and grander for a third film, but I felt that was the only reason that was in the film. So unfortunately, again, it's kind of middle of the road for me. If you enjoyed Jurassic World, then I think you definitely will have fun with this film. But I just think overall, as a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World film in this franchise, and comparing it, I don't like to compare it, but of course it just doesn't live up to anything that we saw in the original film, and I don't think anything will with any of these new films. Again, I think these films are just kind of built more for spectacle than for anything else, which is fine, and some people find enjoyment in that. But I just think that for me, these films don't really work, and they just don't get me excited. But again, I say, if you enjoy the films, then definitely check it out. You could definitely have a lot of fun with this. But anyway, those are my initial thoughts of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Go ahead and let me know what you thought of the film in the comments below. Go ahead, rate, like, subscribe, and share. And go ahead and check out my other dorks at MouthDork, at TheDiscoDork, and at Sidewalk Siren. And as for me, I am the Turtle Dork. And with that, I'm out.